I'm going to start by reading an extract from a short story published in here. If you want to read the rest, you know what to do. This is called Tea for Two. When I was 4, I was in love with a family cat, a hand-carved wooden horse, and my big brother John. When I was 5, I was in love with my new best friend. Sitting next to her on the first day of school, I was in awe of her pretty blonde curls and in her confidence in this terrifying place of rules and noise and corridors that smelled of cabbage and gravy. Flo took me by the hand and introduced me to a new world. We were so different, in looks, in character, in our backgrounds, in our heritage, but that didn't matter. It never did. We decided we would be best friends forever. When you are 5, forever is easy. We played together, grew together, finished school together. When I got my first job, Flo would be waiting when I clocked off, and we'd go walking, visit friends, take tea together. We danced and laughed together. But then the war came. I haven't seen Flo since soon after the day a bomb destroyed her mother's best china tea set. Flo's family remained in the London townhouse that had been theirs for generations, but my family moved north to an uncle's farm in the Borders to escape the Blitz and the daily struggle to keep us all fed and clothed and alive. Flo and I found ourselves further apart than we ever could have imagined. We kept in touch, long letters at first, me describing my new home, my new life in the countryside, how much I hated it, the hard work, the dirt, how uncivilized it seemed after London. Flo wrote of the gossip and scandals that she gleaned from her mother's circle of friends, of the dances and tea parties that still took place, and the shortages and rations that meant nothing was the same as before. Later, she told me of the letters she received from her fiancé out in France, then of the telegram and the news that he would not be returning, like so many others, like my brother, John. But as time passed, the letters got shorter and were sent less often. We both married, had families, grew older. She kept on the townhouse and raised her family there. I stayed on the farm and raised mine. Letters gave way to Christmas cards, birthday cards, and little notes about the big occasions, weddings, births, and as years passed, deaths too. And now, a letter is an invitation to visit Flo. And so here I am, on a bright October morning, standing on the doorstep of a house that I used to visit every week, but haven't seen for 50 years. I knew this house so well, but the cherry red front door is faded now, and the lion's head door knocker is not as polished as it once was. Huddled into my fleece-lined coat, I feel awkward and out of place. I smooth my tweed skirt and wonder why I'm so nervous. I knock. The lion head is now stiff and squeaky with age. As I hear Flo's footsteps on the tiles, I can picture the hall. I can see the diamond-shaped tiles, the umbrella stand, and the table where the letters would wait. I remember the first time I stood at this door. Flo had invited me for a tea party. Back then, I hadn't known what a tea party was. For me, tea was something you drank with your meals and gave to someone who'd had a nasty shock. I couldn't see how it was a party. At the parties I had been to, children ran wild on sugar and excitement and played games that ended in tears. But there I stood, in my best dress, with a little gift of homemade jam and some pretty buttons I had saved from a favourite card game. She was my new best friend, and she deserved them. Flo opens the door. A 70-year-old Flo. Stop there.
Well done, Elaine.